going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, 31 Days of Horror, Volume 9, Day 8 is coming at you live and direct. All right, so we are going to take it to Germany. 2010, a film that was released in 2010. And it's by a director that I personally really have enjoyed for a long time. And I've actually never seen this one. This is the first time watch for me. I've been wanting to see this film for years because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the director. And yeah, film in question here is 2010's No Reason. Now, this is directed by Olaf Ittenbach, who, man, made a big splash in like the late 80s, early 90s with, of course, Black Past. And he got The Burning Moon, then Prometheus came out. He did like fucking Garden of Love, Legion of the Dead, some later on films. And this is from 2010. It's kind of like in the middle of his career. He's still making films, like putting them out and stuff like that. So if you're not familiar with Olaf Ittenbach, he's like the king of like German splatter, like shot on video, German splatter type films, like just crazy off the wall, like super fucking nihilistic type films and shit like that. But yeah, so this is one that I was super happy that Unearthed Films released on Blu-ray because, like I said, I've been wanting to see this one for years. And yeah, so big ups for Unearthed for releasing this. I believe a couple years back they put this one out. And yeah, I'm just finally getting around to checking it out. But yeah, so Olaf Ittenbach's No Reason from 2010. Getting to the premise of this one. This one, I am going to warn you, it's a little bit touchy to talk about because I feel like I'd want people to go into this film knowing a little bit less than more. I think it'd probably work a little bit better for you if you're worried about, like, you know, what the message is in the film and stuff like that. So basically, there is a prelude scene in the film, and then something happens in the beginning of the film. And then it kind of cuts to another scene where it follows our main character, Jennifer. She's kind of getting ready for her day. She kisses her husband goodbye and starts getting ready for her day. You learn really early that they're about to move out of their apartment and stuff like that. So that kind of sets up for the neighbors to come over and, you know, and say a bunch of weird shit to her and, you know, congratulate on them on moving and stuff like that. She's got a son. And she's, the specific day, she's very busy. She's got a lot of things to do, like run errands. So she usually has the neighbor across the way watch her son and stuff like that. And so she's setting all that up, and she hears another knock on the door. It's the postman. He's got a package for her. And basically she opens it up, and it's a book. And she's like, oh, it's a book. So then she kind of goes on with her dailies. And we get introduced to all these characters, and then it just cuts. It cuts away, and she all of a sudden wakes up like in this fucking hell. Like, she wakes up on the floor and she's covered in blood. There's bodies and body parts and blood and gore and shit fucking everywhere. And she's like, what the fuck? Right? And then we get introduced to like this kind of dark kind of devil creature where he kind of narrates the rest of the film. Not like literal narration, but he kind of guides her through the rest of the film and stuff like that. And so and the way he does it in levels. He tells the story in levels. So there's like a level 1, which is, I believe, the color red. It goes, and then level 2 is like green, level 3 is blue, and then level 4 is yellow. So, and that kind of plays into the whole allegory that Olaf Ittenbach's trying to explain here. So she wakes up, she's all blood and gore, and this person's like kind of runs through, he starts talking a bunch of stuff about life and death and stuff like that. And then he basically makes her watch him slaughter her neighbors, the ones that we just got introduced to. So this whole scene kind of goes on and stuff like that. And then he breaks out the book. And the book is kind of the key to the whole elements of the film. The allegory that he's trying to explain and stuff like that. And, you know, as she reads it, like on the different levels, it exposes more clues to what's really going on with this narrative and stuff like that. So then she goes into the next level, which is level 2, which is green. And that scene is fucking wild too, man. Like, I mean, if you're familiar with Olaf Ittenbach's films, the first scene is gory as hell. Like, people are just getting hacked to shit. And the second one is kind of like this weird kind of club orgy type thing. There's like people getting slashed and hacked and killed and shit. And there's women that are pissing all over the place. Crazy. It's fucked up. And then it goes into a different level. And then you keep getting more clues and stuff like that. So anyways, I'll just leave this whole premise right there. Now, my thoughts on this movie. Now, this is a really interesting one. Now, you can take this movie for face value and just kind of watch it for what Olaf Ittenbach is known for, and that is purely blood and gore. Like, the guy does blood and gore and splatter shit really, really fucking well. Like, the gore and blood and the kills and the torture in this film is just, it's it's fantastical, man. It's crazy. It's absurd. It's out there. It's demonic. It's fucking wild. Like there's a scene, man, where a dude literally gets his penis cut in half with a pair of scissors. Like he puts the scissors in the penis hole and like it's a full on dink. And oh fuck, man, it's gory and it's nasty, dude. It makes you cringe. It's brutal. So basically you get like 4 levels of this, man, and you're getting clues to the story, and it's, you know, he's talking about life and death, and like your life, what you're living right now isn't exactly what it is, and that and that. And it kind of goes, and it reminded me of something that I went through when I was a child. So when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I remember talking with my buddy. He was a neighbor of mine. And I just like, I used to overthink a lot of things when I watched TV and programs and documentaries and all this type of shit. And, did that thing just shut off? Yeah, it did. So I had this premise where, okay, so I was really obsessed with dreams as a child. And I always like tried to interpret dreams. And I always wanted to know what that meant. And I said to my buddy one time, I'm like, what if, you know, our daily lives, what we know as our daily lives is our reality? Like, you know, this is what our reality is. I'm like, what happens if that wasn't our reality? You know, this is actually like it's like the reverse of it. And what we dream is actually our reality, and what we're living is like a totally alternate reality. And like my buddy was like, dude, that's really fucked up. I'm like, so basically your dreams would be like this weird kind of like nightmare reality, but that's really what we live in. That's our real life, is like our nighttime nightmare dreams and stuff like that. That's our real life, and what we're living is just a fantasy kind of thing, right? And he's like, dude, that's fucking trippy. And remind you, I wasn't high when I was talking about this shit. I was really obsessed with dreams. But it reminded me of that, and I hadn't thought about that idea in years and years until I was watching this film. And as I'm watching, it kind of reminded me of that. It was like, is that what they're kind of doing with this and stuff? And yeah, so I'm not going to say a whole lot more about the film, but it's pretty cool that Olaf Ittenbach told this story, or presented this idea within this film the way he did it, you know, with lots of blood and gore and violence and, you know, uber violence and just real dark nihilism. You know, like, you know, if you ever seen The Burning Moon, it's super, super nihilistic. Well, this film is the same fucking thing. It's brutal. And there's some scenes, like, I just want to talk about the whole thing, and it's just nasty. Like, there's one scene in this film where I can't believe that he actually put it in the movie. Like, it's kind of implied, and then it's not implied. He actually blatantly shows you. It's pretty fucking crazy. That sucks that the menu shut off. I didn't usually Unearth's menu stay on, but anyways, yeah, really interesting film. It only runs about 75 minutes, which is not unusual for Olaf Ittenbach. You know, he kind of gets in and out on his films and stuff like that. But again, I've heard people say when this Blu-ray first came out, somebody said, "Oh, it's just mindless garbage. It has no meaning. It doesn't make any sense." I'm like, it actually kind of does. Like, it completely makes sense, because it gives you all the clues, but then the reveal or the resolution to the film is pretty blatant to what is going on. It's pretty obvious. It's just everything that you're seeing is an allegory for something else. It's very metaphorical. It's very symbolic. It's kind of deep, and it's hypnotic in a sense of, like, it's very cerebral. Because if you think about things in an alternate way, this is kind of what you get with No Reason. And it's kind of a cool title, being No Reason, because our main character, Jennifer, who is going through this crazy fucking level of, you know, destruction. And I might even add, she's naked through the whole movie. Like, she's literally buck naked the entire movie. Like, tits and shaved vagina and everything. It's fucking wild. Like, it's crazy that she's just buck naked the entire movie. But again, you know, if you're looking for like a hardcore core, like, deeper meaning commentary within a film, allegory, you know, something to kind of dig deeper into, yeah, you might really like this. If you're just looking for a film for face value, lots of gore, lots of blood, lots of nastiness, filthy, just gritty, grimy shit. Like, I was very impressed with the gore in here. It made me cringe a couple times. There's a couple scenes that was just like, phew, he did that. He fucking did that. So, take it for what it is. Like I said, if you're a fan of Olaf Ittenbach, you know what you're getting yourself into. If you're not familiar with this stuff, I probably wouldn't start with this one. Maybe start with his earlier stuff, because this one might kind of throw you for a little bit of a loop. But all in all, I really enjoyed this. No Reason, I'm going to come in at a 7.5 out of 10 on this one. Again, I thought it was pretty solid for what it is. It's trippy. Like, the construction of the film is not, it's not overly linear, because it seems like it bounces around. But when it in my opinion, it comes all together in the end. It really does. And it's kind of a head trip. It's a real fucking, it's a head trip, man. You don't expect to be watching a splatter film and have this type of like, you know, allegoric trippiness to it. So, but yeah, No Reason, 2010, great release. Yeah, the transfer looked really good. I'm sure that he shot it digitally or whatever. That's because Olaf Inbox shoots his stuff pretty low budget. So, yeah, that's it, man. That's going to do it for day 8 here on 31 Days of Horror, Volume 9. I will be back tomorrow with... I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I can't remember. I honestly don't. I'm probably going to just ramble at the end of every video and say I don't know what I'm doing. So just... it's so stupid. It's just all blue behind me. It's all blue skies. You don't get any fucking blue skies for no reason, I tell you that. But anyways, guys, I'll check you guys tomorrow. And as usual...